Hello and welcome back to the channel. We're here at the main homestead for a little bit today. I thought I'd give you guys a small update since we did have that storm come through. And there has been a little damage, but not really anything significant that we have to work on immediately, but we're going to be working on it anyway soon. So let's get into it. So starting in the goat yard, our new addition. Luckily, none of the goats were harmed. We have more trees to get out of here. So, on top of the original damage, we now have a new tree added to the mix. My dad did go around yesterday and started moving the new fencing around. So, that's what you guys are seeing back there. All we have to do now is pretty much link it up together, link it up to the actual shed itself off to this side, and I'll show you guys, and then get rid of the old fencing, and the goat fencing should be as good as new. We're also going to be updating the girls' door. This is what we call the sleeping area. I gotta clean up around here. We're gonna be putting concrete down there, so you guys see that light down there, that's not supposed to be open. We think water erosion has done that. Hello, Cookie. We're also going to be fixing the outside gate to the sleeping area quarters. And we got to fix the roof up here because there's a little bit of a damage from the last storm. So there's that. We got to fix the fencing over there because they tore that open. But other than the goat area and some areas in the garden, everything looks pretty much okay. There was no real damage to the house. We were out of power for a good bit though, so that was fun to experience. So let me take you guys over to the garden. It is actually raining today, which is weird because the storm cleared yesterday and it was pretty much sunny all day yesterday. So it's kind of funny that it decided to rain today, but that's okay. I'm actually excited to get to the property today because I want to see if the storm had any effect up there. Really, it wouldn't be too big of a deal right now, but I just want to see if anything changed out there too much. It should be fine though. Alright, so walking up to the garden, my mom and I did some clearing up in the front here to get rid of this gourd plant that's kind of taken over. And we cleared up this bed that was actually housing asparagus at one point. The asparagus will grow right back though, so not too worried about that, but it looks better. We also cleared up a little inside to get rid of some of this netting that was making up the berry lane that goes around the garden fencing. My mom's planning on clearing that up too so that it's more organized. Cassava plants. If you guys can't tell, one of the cassava plants did fall over in the storm. It's okay though, we'll be harvesting cassava anyways. We'll also be harvesting some of our white roselle as well. So, some damage in the garden. I'm actually going to go around and show you guys on the inside. Not much has changed other than some of the cassava falling over and whatnot. I'll also insert a picture at some point, but well, some pictures, because me and my mom finally got those banana trees down. So we harvested our bananas before the storm really hit because we were afraid they'd be knocked out of the tree. We will have to cut down those two big trees that produce though, so they'll be going to make room for more banana trees. Some of the peppers were affected by the storm. I'm not going to go under there because it's misting right now and I know it's like wet under there. I'm actually surprised the grapevine did not fall because it's actually pretty heavy and we need to reinforce it. So that's one thing. If you guys can see this, that is the sugar cane. The sugar cane definitely took a hit during the storm, but some peppers fell. The sugar cane needs to be harvested because a lot of it fell over, and that's okay. All we gotta do is cut it down and it'll pretty much grow right back. So that's what we'll be doing hopefully soon. And we'll probably press some cane to make into some syrup. I'll also show you guys the pond house, our tropical house, if you will. I don't know if I mentioned that, but these are mango trees in the front, and luckily they pretty much stayed the same too, so they're okay. So inside the pond house is where we grow most of our heat-friendly plants. So these are all citrus trees, I believe tangelos and oranges and the like. Yep, our pomegranate trees. My mom said they were producing like wildfire over here. Let me get a better angle. I think that's a moringa tree in the mix though. So our pomegranate trees, we have some, what is that? Soursop trees. I think this is a grapefruit tree, so I can't really get through that. But back there, and luckily they look intact, we have vanilla plants. You know what? Hold on. Oh, yeah. So these are our vanilla plants, and we have a lot of vanilla beans to pick once they're ready. In case you guys were wondering, these were, I think they came up in February, and you have to pollinate vanilla pretty much as soon as it opens. And then after that, the bean takes 9 months to really form and develop and whatnot. So we have to wait a little bit longer until the beans are actually ready to harvest. But we had a lot of vanilla, so I definitely plan on using those. We're going to be using them to make extracts and, of course, baking. So we walk back through this. God, I'm going to be wet today anyways. It'll be alright. Ooh. So yeah, that's the pond house. And I didn't get to show you guys in the last video. Yeah, luckily nothing happened to the cows. I think the video cut, I don't know. I'll check in a minute. But the cows also had some trees fall in their area. So, how fun. So, I finished a sort of long trip at Lowe's. And got most of the pieces I need for the bathroom door, except the main piece that makes up the actual door, but that's okay. I'll probably get that at a later date, probably in a different vehicle, because I wasn't sure how I was going to fit it in my little behind car. So rather than trying to force a big piece of wood into my sedan, I just decided to get most of the components for the door and go from there. I am currently heading up to the property, and I will show you guys what I bought there. My plans really for today are finishing up the clearing of the garden. I got to get that tape off my front door, and I got to do some cleaning up in the tiny house because I gathered some boxes and everything to put some of the smaller stuff into, so that that stuff will be more easy to move and out of the way, so that I can probably focus on maybe starting, I don't know about 100%, but at least maybe starting the tiny house kitchen, and eventually framing for the bonus room, because we found our concrete guy, and we'll eventually, after getting some concrete work done out at the main homestead, we're going to have him come out to the property to do some concrete work, and there's going to be a lot of that. So hopefully that'll be coming soon, and the sooner that gets done, the sooner I can start framing the bonus room and getting some big changes to the tiny house itself. So that's all I got for today. Well, not for today, but for right now. So I will see you guys at the property. Alrighty, I have everything pretty much moved into the tiny house that is new. And like I said earlier, I have everything I need to build the door except the main part of the door, the main body of the door, if you will. So I did a lot of browsing at Lowe's, and I'm pretty confident that I have everything I need to make the door the way I want it, and I think it'll turn out really nice. So I have the pieces of wood I'm going to use for the door frame itself. I will probably test a few pieces out in the actual door frame, and I have things to make the decorative parts of the door, along with the little door, I want to say stopper, but jamb or whatever it's called, so that the door has something to stop on whenever I open and close it, so it doesn't just freely swing or anything. I mean, the hinges are probably going to stop it from doing that, but just the added little stopper piece. I'm probably going to have to cut that piece in half. I don't know yet. I'll have to think about it, or like see it up in the door, but it'll be fine. And trying to think. I haven't got the door trim itself. That'll be a later date when the walls are actually built and everything. So I'm probably going to start by cleaning up inside the tiny house, just to make sure everything is in order. I won't lie, I panicked a little bit, because when I first got to the property, everything looked untouched, and then I get to my house and the door is wide open. So I know the wind blew it open, but I still looked around just in case, and there's nobody in here. So I really have to get that door fixed. I'm probably going to see, I'll have to read up or something and see if I can re-shim it and see if that helps get it more level, because I think it's just because it's not level or something, because you can see gaps around the door. So I'm probably going to shim it and see if I can get it back to level, and maybe even fix the doorknob or something. I might even change the whole doorknob out. I'm not sure. So, because I have been thinking about that. I like my door, and I don't want to change the key, but if I have to replace the doorknob, then I will. So that's my thought process for the door. But it looks nice now that I've gotten the tape off and everything. So I'm very happy with it. And not much has changed in the back either, so I'll probably finish up clearing the back. I will put this wood somewhere so it's not entirely in the way. And then I think I'll call it a day at the property for now. So yeah, let's just get into it. forgot to mention it in my previous video, but I got some garden edging for the tiny garden in the front, the little decorative garden. So I'm not sure when I'm going to put this in. I'll probably wait a little bit, like once I get some like landscaping uh, stuff together, and then I'll put this down. But I'm pretty excited about this. My mom had extra of it and didn't want to use it, so I figured why not take it for myself and see what I can do with it. And it looks pretty easy to put together, which is great for me. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to use for the front garden. And I don't know if I'm going to use any in the actual back garden per se, but at least I got some edging for the front garden, and maybe along the edge by my driveway, but we'll have to see. So yeah. Honestly, this was like too convenient of an excuse to go through all of the stuff I bought for the tiny house. Alrighty, so I'm gonna put most of the bathroom stuff in here. I'm noticing the camera is trying to focus, and I'm not sure why. It's an issue I've had before, so I'm probably gonna push through, but I'm also gonna have my camera on my phone as a backup for right now, just in case I have to splice this a different way or something. So I checked the wood for the door, and it fits perfectly. So I'm going to, of course, I'm going to have to like trim it out a little bit so that it fits perfectly into the door, because the wood is actually too short, of course. So I'll trim that wood up to fit the actual door frame, and then I'll have to see. I was going to use those skinny strips to like do the door brace idea I had mentioned, but looking at it now, I don't think I'll need to do that. So I'll probably just use that for something else, because I already had an idea for pretty much wood to that size. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with that thickness. I might take it back. Yeah, I might take it back, but I think it's the right thickness for what I'm trying to do. So we'll have to see. If not, I'll just take it back and swap it out for something else. But let's get started moving some of this stuff. So some of the stuff in here is bathroom stuff, of course, but also a little bit of kitchen stuff that I bought early on. So I'm going to move that into this box. And then we'll get into the kitchen area once I get most of the stuff that I want in this box. And I think I'll try to keep it organized to like kitchen stuff in one box, because some of the kitchen stuff's already in a box, so I don't have to worry about reboxing it, but the other stuff will just be in its own little box, so I'll try to do that. And then everything else is kind of everything else, so yeah. putting this stuff up also helps me keep an eye out for scorpions, because in last video I didn't catch it on video for you guys, but boy oh boy, did I have a lot of little scorpions coming out of places. So I don't want to think that they're living in my stuff, but better to get it all boxed away and put up so that I know before I end up having a big problem with scorpions. They're going to stay out of the bags and boxes. Unsurprisingly, I don't have a lot of stuff for the bathroom per se in here, so this should be a piece of cake to put up, and I'll probably put some extra stuff in here, like the cleaning supplies I brought and whatnot. I do plan on recycling things like these. This is the soap dispenser, and I already had an idea of how I can reuse some of these things for the tiny house so that it looks nice. So that's the plan for stuff like that. I also got a lot of cleaning supplies so that I'll be prepared for the ridiculous amount of cleanup that's going to come with this build. Along with some other little luxuries, I suppose. Stuff that's more oily or liquidy is probably going to end up going into the bags for right now. I'm also doing this not only to clean up the space and make it more organized for my own purposes, but I do plan on eventually getting a bathtub in here. So I want stuff to be able to be easily moved around for when I do that. So I'm probably going to move everything to this section in the tiny house by this window where the stairs are supposed to be for right now, so that they're not in the bathroom space. And that'll also make it easier to move stuff out of the kitchen space too. So if I stack it all right here, it'll be fine. It'll be out of the way until I eventually get to making the stairs. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this right now. So I'll probably be busy the next month really working on art commissions, and I'm also going to be working on cheesecake orders. So, is that a moth? Something just flew past me. But I'll be working on those things this month. So I'll still have time to come out to the tiny house and work on things. And I'm thinking that my next few projects are going to be building a store, and maybe even the sofa, but I'll have to look. And I'm thinking about getting wood for the kitchen countertop. I have an idea of how big the countertop's going to be, so I can easily get the wood for that now and pretty much build around that idea. And then, yeah, so kitchen counter, sofa, door. And another thing about this door is it's going to be pretty much the prototype for the other doors I build in the tiny house. I'm building my bathroom door and 2 pocket doors that are going to be going for the bonus room. The, well, technically 3 pocket doors because there's the bonus room, the small pantry I plan on putting in the bonus room, and the water heater closet that I'm putting in there. And I'll go over those plans later because I did change the layout for the bonus room a little bit to suit those needs. So that's going to be fun. I'm also looking at the walls. I'm going to have to think about how I'm going to reframe portion of the wall for the pocket door right here that enters into the bonus room, because it'll be easier to do the bonus room pocket doors because the bonus room isn't there yet. But I have to reframe this wall in particular to account for the pocket door I plan on installing. So that's going to be fun to do. And it shouldn't affect the roof too much, since I'm not sure when that's going to be raised up yet. And I might even, I'll have to see, but I might even hold off on doing the bonus room roof, since I'm thinking about increasing the roof height in there too once it's there, but we'll have to see how that turns out. Because depending on how I do that, it'll either end up being almost like a second loft sort of deal, and I'll build off of this to extend it or something. I'm not sure yet. Or, yeah, probably a second loft, thinking about it, if we get the roof height increase, because then I can make the walls a little taller to account for the roof height increase over there, and it'll just be like a second smaller loft, but that loft will probably be for storage. So yeah, that's the plan. Oh my god. So a lot of changes are happening rather quickly. I'm going to be getting the bathroom pretty much made up, so that'll pretty much include getting the bathtub and vanity set in place, along with getting this door started. I'm actually really excited about my bathroom door. I'm pretty confident that it'll look very nice. I had a specific idea in mind for the bathroom door, so I figured why not get the parts for it now while I have a little bit of money on me, and go from there. Alrighty, so I decided to cut it short a little bit with all of the cleanup because it is taking a bit. I am now in the kitchen area right now. You guys can see some of the boxes from there. I'm reorganizing the boxes that are currently there so that things fit better and everything. There's less boxes around. So I'm about done filling up that box. I'm going to close it off, put some of the boxes over here, like I said I was going to do. And then we'll head outside because I have some measuring I need to do to better plan the garden area out. And I'll have to see how close things are in proximity to the bonus room so that I'm not making things too small or too big, because I am worried that I'm making it too big. I'm not sure yet. So depending on what I have laid out and how the trees are laid out and all that, I will have to replan what I initially planned for the garden. But it's not that big of a deal since nothing's really set in stone with the garden yet. So That's what I plan on doing after I finish cleanup in here. It's actually been nice going through everything. So um, once I finish that, I'll do some more planting and cleanup in the back, because I only have a small patch of trees I need to cut back, and then I need to measure how far out I've actually cut, see if I want to go back further or just keep it where it is. I might go back a little further because I was thinking about doing that, and that'll probably even out my fencing for me, and then I'll go from there. Yeah, yeah. So I'll have to see. So the garden might be 24 by 28 instead of 26 like I had, and I think that'll make it more even fencing wise for me. So let's just get to it. Alrighty, so finished organizing in here for the most part. There's still some stuff up front that I'm going to move around, but we're pretty much cleared out. Ignore the TV in the bathroom, it won't be there long. I gotta look at whatever that spot is back there. I had a problem with ants and had tried to get rid of them with some pesticide, and I'm worried that termites may have moved in or something and made damage to the floor. I'll see if I can't salvage it as is, but I may have to replace that section of the floor. I don't want to, but I may have to. So we'll have to see. But yeah, everything looks pretty organized now. Mind the front though, I still got to do that, but it's better than what it was. Alright, so finally moving along to the outside. Like I said, not much has really changed out here from the storm. There are a lot of pine branches laid out now. But that doesn't change much for the tiny garden for me, since I gotta clear up some more stuff anyways. I'm going to actually measure how far it's going back real quick and try to clear it out to 28. And then clear up the little bit of brush that's probably back here and over. And that should do it for the tiny garden until I get fencing and all of that. I'll have to see how my plans go, and I guess I'll talk to you guys about that as I go in a bit. So let's just clear up the rest of this brush and get started. Alrighty, I have my little planner out here for perspective so I can kind of figure out where the sort of middle of my garden is going to be. So back to one little tree back there is about 30 feet. So I'm going to have to actually go back inside and look at my plans and see if I want to do 30 feet or if I'm going to stop at 28 or something, because of the kind of fencing I'm trying to get. I want it to be as even as possible so I don't have to get more fencing or less fencing. And if I get 28, then I'd have to get, if I go to 28, then I'd be kind of even with my fencing and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But if I go back out one more, it's just 2 more panels I may have to buy, which really doesn't seem that bad, but that brings the garden out to 32. So I'll have to check out my plans real quick. So yeah, but the garden itself is actually pretty much clear. Everything else will have to be just weed eated or something. But I'll get some of these little trees on this side in a second once I check my plans, and then go from there. Alrighty, doing a more proper outro because I didn't realize in my last clip that I had recorded my outro in slow motion. I didn't realize I recorded that whole bit in slow motion, so whoops. Anyways, I'm gonna do some more clearing tomorrow because it's getting quite late for me. It's actually 4 o'clock, but I don't know if it's gonna rain or anything like that, so I need to get home. But it's just about done. The garden space anyway, it's just about done being cleared out. So after that, I just gotta wait until I get some fencing and whatnot. So I'm not gonna do any more really in-depth planning of the garden until I get the fence and the bonus room up, because without a limit to the amount of space I have back there, it's a bit confusing how much space I actually have to build in, and I don't want to make things too big or too small. So I know I'm not going to have a lot of garden beds in there because it's such a small space, but having a definitive area where things are going to be will be very helpful, especially in relation to where all of these trees are, because I'm not going to cut down some of those big trees. I will cut down the really small ones because I can without damaging anything. So I'll cut those down eventually, but the bigger trees are just gonna have to be built around, and I have ideas on how to fit those into the garden space too, so that they won't be a hindrance. I don't really have much planned out yet for tomorrow aside from clearing the garden space. I might do a little bit more but organizing up here in the tiny house, because there's this section of stuff in the front that I really want to organize and clean up. So I'll probably do that, and yeah, so there's more cleanup to do in the tiny house just to get things where I need them to be. More clearing for the garden, and then the what's it called? The bathroom door. I will be probably getting the rest of the bathroom door together, or at least trying to plan it out while I have a little bit of space right there, and we'll see. If not, I might do some framing, who knows. But that's all the time I have for today. So until next time, see you guys.